What's up everyone, Op Soldier, and today I wanted to just quickly talk about kind of a final recap on Combo Breaker and what this means for the offline scene, or the online scene. So the first thing I want to talk about is just the idea that there were a lot of Fujins. You guys are probably going to see more Fujins in Combat League if you're at any high ranking. My suggestion is either learn the mirror or play a character that can deal with Fujin. I do feel like characters like Katana can deal with Fujin. You just have to play like extremely patient because the low fan will beat the slide and the high fan will beat the Skywalker, but the problem is he does more damage off of Skywalker than you doing a fan. So he also struggles with jumping, so like Katana can do pretty well against jumping, or with her jumping, but just expect a lot of Fujins to be played. The other thing that I want to talk about is something that's been kind of brewing in the US/Mortal Kombat scene in general. I'm just gonna be honest, like, people aren't taking the game seriously, right? And there's a lot of arguments for why, right? Like, obviously, like, the game's not supported anymore. People aren't really interested in playing Mortal Kombat because the developers seem to just kind of like let it go, you know? So American players have pretty much said, hey, I'm done with the game. They haven't like voiced it, right? But like, you know, players like Tweety are slowly, you know, starting to play less and less. Focusing more on online majors, especially because like the prize pools for offline aren't really good. So you're moreover going there to just have a good time and network. Or I guess if you're trying to win, like, you're just getting props, right? And then players like Sonic Fox have clearly gone on to other games like Skullgirls. Sonic Fox actually dropped both Mortal Kombat 11 and Dragon Ball FighterZ for Skullgirls on the beginning day of pools. So that leaves you to believe that basically Sonic's not taking it seriously either, right? And clearly players like Rewind have just kind of done with the game. They're kind of bored of the game. And this alone is what has caused the international scene to take over and finally win a major on the top two spot, right? Now, obviously, you can argue, well, Ninja Killer wasn't there, these players weren't there, but that doesn't really matter. When it really comes down to it, like, if the international scene is taking the games by storm and winning on our offline majors, those are the players we can only point to being the best players. Now, I'm not saying that Rewind and Sonic aren't amazing. They're amazing players, and they deserve their respect, right? But at the same time, there is one thing that we've all universally agreed matters more than anything: offline results, right? Now, if that means that you don't want to prove yourself offline anymore and you think that you can rest where you are, like where you've taken the wins, that's fine. But the problem is the community keeps going forward, right? And Rio mentioned this in one of the podcasts, because I've watched like pretty much all of his podcasts. He said that if the American scene does not take Mortal Kombat as seriously, the Latin American scene that really enjoys the game, really loves the game, grinds the game, both like older games like UMK3 and Mortal Kombat 11, that's what's going to happen. They're going to take over the Mortal Kombat scene. They are going to dominate. US will not be the players that dominate the Mortal Kombat scene. I personally don't mind that, but I do feel like this is a warning shot to a lot of players who thought that they were just going to like come in and just like, you know, easily get top 4 or something like that, or top 2, because the international scene is not going to slow down. They're going to still love to play this game. They're still going to travel. So that's just kind of a warning shot, I feel, for them. Again, I don't really mind who wins. It's just kind of my thoughts on it and how like the international scene might be taking over in the future. Hopefully we'll either see like some sort of update with Mortal Kombat, you know, maybe obviously a new game because they're done with this game, but you know, something, obviously like Sonic and Rewind are probably going to go to Evo, so maybe we'll see them in Evo. So maybe they'll be able to kind of redeem the kind of competitive US scene. We'll see. I mean, Rewind got 3rd place. That's still amazing. So it's not like he's, you know, it's not like he's like, you know, not placing well anymore. Like, he clearly is. He's still a good player, and I still think he's a good player. It's just, this was just kind of a wake-up call for us, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of change our minds on competing, or at least like playing against more higher level players. And yeah, that's all I want to talk about. I guess I can kind of say one last thing. I just want to stress again, obviously, like with the gameplay you're seeing, like I cannot stress enough. I saw a tweet earlier today. It's impossible to try new characters in Kombat League. People play like maniacs. Holy F, I'm losing my mind. So here's the deal. I've said this before and I'll keep saying this. When you play Kombat League, do not focus on winning. The number one thing you should focus on is how your character will help you, like how to learn how to play your character, whether that be fundamentals, B&B combos, it could be anything, right? Like, just as long as you're learning some fundamental thing with your character. The number one thing that I learned in fighting games, and I'm slowly, finally understanding, is that losing does not matter unless you are playing in an offline tournament. All this other stuff is literally just you grinding. Now, you can argue, yes, for an exhibition online or for a tournament online, you do want to be ready. You want to be combat ready to win. But Kombat League doesn't mean jack. It means nothing. Some dude wash you 10-0 in Kombat League. Who cares? The thing you should be paying attention to, or at least I should be paying attention to, I don't want to preach to anyone, so I'm just saying the thing that I pay attention to at this point is being able to do what you want to do, being able to see matchups for what they are. For example, I don't know if this video will come up, it might come up in the next one, but there's one match where I play a Shao Kahn player and he does the fakest mix I've ever seen in my life, right? I didn't know it was fake. And you can literally jump the low hammer and you can react to the kick, right? Obviously online it's a little bit harder, but you can OS it by just jumping. Like, it forces Shao Kahn into like 1 or 2 buttons. And the string he was doing it off of is 1-2, which is -7. So Shao gets jailed after that string, right? So the whole point I'm trying to make is, like, people will do all types of weird stuff. Focus on the matchup. You know, for me, it's focusing on the matchup and understanding how characters play, because if I don't do that, and that's kind of a blessing that I've gotten from console, because now I'm able to play players who play a little bit differently. Like, that dude was doing fake mix that I'd never see on PC, because we all know that it's fake on PC. Well, not we know that it's fake on PC, but we'd be able to react to it a little bit easier. So seeing that on PS4 was like an eye-opener to me. So I get exposed to more unusual, peculiar play, right? Like, I got a lot of people wake up jumping. Like, I don't know why people are wake up jumping. That's a very easy thing to blow up in this game. The only time it's not easy to blow up is when you don't respect wake ups. Like, if you sit right outside of jump range and someone tries to wake up jump after you knock them down, they're dead, you know? So it's just one of those things that those are things you have to learn, I feel like. And I'll continue to go over like some tweets that I kind of find. So just focus on getting better as a player. That's the number one thing that I feel is most important. Obviously, if you're struggling with something, that's something you want to pay attention to. Kombat League itself, losing to players in Kombat League is just, it's whatever. It's whatever, it doesn't matter. If it bothers you that much, because it used to bother me a lot, you can play sets, private sets with people, or you can make a Smurf account. You know, making a Smurf account is a good way to learn a new character too. There's no rule against that. It's not unethical in any sense, especially if you're just trying to learn a new character. So, but anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have fun playing MK11 and fighting games.